Welcome to the Sunbirdcrochet podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from sunny Germany. I'm coming to you today from the middle of my stash sorting disaster. It's a process. I'm not finished yet, so don't worry. Here in the background you see my finished Battenberg blanket. I'm almost done with weaving in the ends, and behind me is all kind of stash. Most of the hand dyed is already sorted and in boxes, and I've put it in my cupboard or wardrobe. And this is the giveaway / donating pile. We can, if I still have enough time, then I can rush through this, just like a first look at it. But first, let me show you my current whips. I'd like to start with my knitting project. I've split for the sleeves, and it's my Ranunculus. I'm getting there. I've split for the sleeves. As you can see, I've put those on some waste yarn, and I was rather generous with the waste yarn size or length. I just want to be able to try this on as soon as possible. So as you can see, I've managed so far. It might be a little bit tight, but with some aggressive blocking, I might be able to get it to fit me. I'm using the recommended needle size, and so far so good. I've learned some techniques which were new to me, like tubular cast on method, which really makes the neckline stretchy, and all these lovely patterns, including some little tiny flower lace patterns here. Yeah, so this is coming along nicely. The yarn which I'm using is quite a cost-effective yarn. It's the Julia yarn by Seemann, a Dutch company, and it costs me about €2 for one ball, and so far I think I'm on the 3rd ball of yarn. So easy make so far. My second whip is crochet. I've found it amongst my finished objects because I remember that I didn't want to continue working on it. It's a blanket. The pattern is by Jen Tyler, who is the Floral hook. And it's the Chrysalis or Chrysalis throw. There you go. Her patterns are not very expensive, but very detailed. And she has a video tutorial for every round and everything so that you are able to follow her patterns exactly. And this is all acrylic yarn. And I love the little details, all the flowers. She has a passion for flowers and for very colorful blankets and throws. And I looked at it, and over there is all the yarn which I purchased for this throw, and I thought it's a waste of the yarn, and it's really a pity if I don't make this into a blanket instead of like a small lap throw. So what I'm trying, you know, what I didn't like back then was that she turned this into a round throw, and I don't like round blankets just because the way you have to place the increases, it's far too complicated. So I really like the honest square blanket with increases in the corners. So what I did here was I added in the back loop only here on the corners, I've added double crochets, and then here to make it slowly into a square shape, I've added half double crochets, back post, half double crochets. And then here last night I've added some trebles, then double crochets, and then half double crochets, and now I'm slowly there. As you can see, this is more like more space, so I will continue with the same color, but I thought I might starting here some puff stitches, and with every row I'm going to add 2 more puff stitches so that it's like a V shape going towards the corners in puff stitches, so that it has still a bit of texture. At least that's my idea. And I think I might add a bit of surface crochet here right there because it created a little bit of a hole, so I might add a little embellishment there. But otherwise I really like the yellow color here, the yellow and the light pink. I like that. What I don't like is the color in the middle here. That doesn't really work together with the rest of the blanket. But I've started it this way, so I have to live with it. So these are my 2 works in progress. The ones which get some love from me these days. And otherwise, I would like to go through my giveaway stash / to donate stash. I have about 35 minutes left until there is a Zoom meeting, so let's get cracking. Stop waffling. In no particular order, I'm just going to reach and I'm going to show it and throw it on the floor. That's a little apple blanket which I designed. I haven't made up my mind yet how to do this. For now, if you see something which you like, just let me know. And Marta, if you see something which you like, I'm happy to send it with your gift, which I still haven't received that yarn, the orange yarn. So If you see something in the meantime, I will reserve that for you. You will have first choice if you see anything. This was freestyle throw wrap. It's unfinished. Don't care about it anymore. Another one in the same style. This is a bunny or a hare jumping over the meadow, I suppose, and it has little flowers down there here and some bubbles which were part of a yarn which I was using, and up here it has a border, rather a dreamy piece. So yeah, that one probably good for Easter, hey? It doesn't have an eye because I thought that eye would only stare at you and it would be freaky. Now here another blanket. Can't remember the name, but it's on my project page on Ravelry. Really huge. I'm not going to send that one though, because that's far too heavy. I have a plan for that one. Then my two weaving projects, which is this one. You could easily put it on a twig or something. And this one, which is supposed to look like a landscape with mountains here in the background and some waves. I don't have space to hang this up, you know. That's a little crochet colorwork beanie which I designed. However, it's rather small on me and it doesn't have any stretch. That's the nature of colorwork, and this is why I haven't absolutely no stretch. This was a test crochet for Hannah, the Cozy Cottage Crochet. It's the Nihilus cowl, and I actually didn't make it as a cowl. I didn't sew it together behind there, but you can use it as a kerchief like this. There you go. This is a one-of-a-kind yarn by Somerset Yarns, a UK indie dyer. Yeah. North by Northwest pot holder. This is another design in colorwork, crochet colorwork. It didn't make it into Murid, but it might make it around your neck. This is inspired by octopus, you know, the tentacles. This is the positivity cowl made in drops sky or air. I always mix them up. It's really soft and has a lovely drape. However, I'm not using it. My Edwardian little handbag. These are wooden bits, like beads. And this is also colorwork crochet. And I've put a bit of cardboard in here so that it would not collapse. Yeah, so this is also something. Then a little top which I've designed, the Liguelia top. It's rather short, so this is just for like beach wear. Probably is a size L, and it's in cotton yarn. A little swatch of my Cleggan cowl. This is in a DK yarn, just a tiny little cowl. I don't know if it's a feel festive or be positive something shawl by this is all granny stitch, and it's a rather long one. This is all 4-ply hand dyed. This is also a rather small little cowl, very light. This is vintage yarn. I can't remember what it's called, and it has like a little bit of a wavy pattern, just to keep the back of your neck a little warmer. This might actually go to my sister. This is cotton yarn, and this is the Broad Oak Hill shawl cowl. It's twisted on purpose, and you can wrap it twice around your neck. Yeah. This is the Audun blanket pattern by Arne and Carlos. I've made this in acrylic yarn. It's just a little lapgan. It's not very big. Like this ×4. I've just folded it. This is something out of Murid, the pattern. It's a sweater, a pattern by Ines Rogers, Elderberry Farm Crafts. It's in Murid magazine issue 2, and it fits me, but I don't like the way the yarn's stretched, and it's really like see-through, so I'm not wearing such garments because of my midriff. But if you would like this, otherwise it's a very lovely fitting top. I would say in XL. Now, also my first version of a pollen shawl with a little bee in the middle. This now is a simple corner to corner triangular shawl. This is a little shawl, again twisted on purpose. It is a little bit scratchy because it has these shiny, well, in Germany we call them pailletten, the shiny glitzy bits. This is another one of my crochet colorwork designs, another cowl. This is the Briar Rose cowl. The original, which I'm keeping, is in rose and pink and lilac colors, and this one is the gray yellow version. Another colorwork cowl, which is Christmas themed. If you just want to feel a bit festive, and you can throw this over, and if you don't particularly like the deer, then you just pull them down. You don't really see them anyway. Nice little cowl, totally disheveled. This is the Selkie cowl, a pattern by Cat Golden, and it's a crochet project, one of those. It has really like a mermaid's tail, or a Selkie is a seal creature, like a woman or a man changeling. And it's really squishy. This is Malabrigos yarn. And yeah, just a little cowl again. I seem to have a thing for cowls. Then this lovely shawl. The yarn is 100% wool in a color changing yarn by, I think it's Lang yarn. Also, I'm going to part from my original rule breaker shawl. This is a statement piece. It's really huge and it will cover your whole upper body. But if you are into neon colors, this might be something for you. Just a little bag with lavender to keep your things smelling nicely. This is fingering 4-ply hand-dyed yarn, and this is my Jane shawl design. If you like that one, I'm happy to send it to you, Marta. This is a pattern by Rosina. It's all hand-dyed yarn, I think mainly from Somerset Yarns in UK indie dyer, and this is a special border. You might have to block this again because it's rolling up a little bit. I'm not sure, maybe I will give this to one of the members of my family. Now this is Vinalia wrap, also rather colorful. This is all 4-ply fingering weight yarn. This is an Australian pattern designer, I can't remember her name, and looking at it, it's actually quite nice, but I never wear it. This is another one, another Selkie cowl, the Cat Golden pattern, also Malabrigo Rios, or Malabrigo, I don't know which one. This might actually be suitable for a man. This is a nice little shawl. It's asymmetric and it's in an acrylic yarn held double with some cotton yarn. I've used to wear this a lot, but yeah, not anymore. So I can't wear all the things. This is a Hotel of Bees shawl, which I've made and never worn. This might go to, this actually might be wrapped up in some wrapping paper, and it might be a gift for next Christmas. This one is, it's a mix of a shawl pattern by Eddie Day Designs, and then I've added the same border from which I've used at the other one, the other shawl from Rosina, who is Scenes and Rogers, and there you go. It looks very squishy. It is very squishy. Quite an unusual color combination, and again you will have to block this, or you take the border of one or the other. Now this is the Beatrix shawl, a crochet short row shawl pattern by Hannah, who is the Cozy Cottage Crochet. This was also a test crochet piece, and yeah, I feel like a bit like either a jester or a vampire or something evil. This is all hand-dyed yarn, and I'm not mocking the pattern. It's just that I never wear it. I've had someone who was very keen on it when she first saw this shawl. Again, it's a little bit crumpled. This is a make from my mother, just a simple knit shawl with a bit of tassels at either end or braids, and it's really simple but keeps you warm. This is a recent make. It's including a faux fur pom-pom. It's what's it called? It's one of my head designs. The yarn is Katja, and it changes the colors itself on its own, I mean. Now this is another cowl. I don't remember the yarn. It's just something which you can wrap up twice around your neck and you're warm. This was a pattern in a pom-pom magazine, one of the first crochet, well, the only crochet pattern I ever made from a pom-pom magazine, and it was crochet along with Christy Glass, and it's a top. Again, I've made the mistake to mix acrylic yarn, which is this and this one, with 100% wool yarn. So if you are going to wash this, this might actually become very skew. So that's the problem. And it's well, it's boxy shaped, and I've tried my best with the neckline, but really I didn't go through with the whole pattern. I didn't add the sleeves. It's just like a very boxy kind of vest. Again, just a knitted shawl by my mother. It's lovely, colorful yarn, and just a simple, I don't know what she did, but it's just a shawl. This again is Doppio Colosseum, the pattern. This is all cotton yarn, vintage from the 80s, the pink ones. It has some specks of other colors in there, like yellow and orange, and it's a very, very huge, enormous shawl. Again, I've chosen the wrong yarn for this project. Then I've made this square. Well, it's very nice, but I don't know what to do with it. Let me say it like this. You could put it on a stick, maybe, and like a wall hanging, possibly. Or this is Sreepjes stone washed, so I think it's cotton. You might use it as a washcloth. That's the back. I don't know. And this one here, it's a little bit wonky. I don't know what I did wrong. Probably my gauge, my row gauge. This is a Valentine square. It has hearts, and this is overlay crochet. It's very pretty, and it's very fitting the theme of Valentine's Day on the 14th of February. However, if you want this, you're welcome to have it, but you will have to weave in all the ends. We're getting there. We're getting there. I have 10 minutes left until the Zoom meeting. This is like a dream catcher in acrylic yarn, unfortunately, and this is a metal hoop so that it doesn't come loose. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not into dream catchers. This is a cushion. Again, this is overlay crochet. I love the pattern. I have this again in a blue color, and with this one, the problem is that I don't like the color combination to be in my sitting room, I suppose. It's very pretty, but again, I want to make this in different colors. I've combined it with a very cheap yarn here. They don't really work. This is cotton yarn, and this one here is like acrylic wool mix, cheap yarn. But you're never going to see this, are you? Now, quickly. This is the child's fro blanket kind of with little pom-poms on the border. It's called the Continuous Crochet Blanket. That's the pattern. And there you go, everything just toppled over. 2 little owls, like little hanging owls. Another blanket. This is a round shaped blanket. And I just told you what I think about round shapes when it's a blanket. Another apple blanket, like a baby blanket. There's no one in my family who will have children in the near future. Another knit simple shawl in a grayish wool with some experimental bits here, textures. This is the Dragon Belly shawl, which I've made when I was on holiday years ago. It's all an asymmetrical shaped shawl. I've got these little 2 bags, Aztec tears, no, patch tears. It's a pattern, a free pattern by Tina Hickel, a little one with a, I've taken this is from a jeans, an old jeans which I cut. So this is the zipper of an old jeans, and it's not lined, but it's a bag. So there's one, a small one, and then there's a big one. So you might use this as a project bag, really. I've stitched it onto the zipper. I'm not a good stitcher, but yeah, it's in cotton yarn, so it should last. We do have time for incoming. I've got 2 books to show you. The first one is Animal Friends by Pika Pau, the 3rd book, and you can see all the lovely creatures which you can make. There are actually more than on these photos. What I would like to make is that little hen here, but I want to make it in huge, like a meter high. And then there is a little, where is she? There she is. Mabel Hedgehog. Make Mabel the hedgehog. She's so cute. So there you go. Book number 1. Book number 2. Book number 2 has got nothing to do with crochet or fiber related arts. Book number 2 is Lady Cottington, her secret fairy notebook. I'm running out of time. I will show you more about this in my next episode. How's that for a teaser? Okay, I will add to the end of this video a little bit of footage of me rummaging around my stash and losing it, kind of. I didn't realize that I had so much stash, and I do feel guilty just a little bit, but I will get over it. Thank you, and I will talk to you soon again. Bye!